Hey everybody, this is Jen Johnson with my final summary for AEP 873 about Google and education. I found this quote and I thought it was very indicative kind of how I felt about this class. And it says, I look at Google and think they have a strong academic culture, elegant solutions to complex problems. This is Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, and I think what he says really kind of explains how I feel about Google. I've loved and enjoyed taking the classes where we access Google communities and do those types of things, and I think it is. There's some elegant solutions to complex problems, and there's just a lot of different ways that both students and teachers can access Google and that it can be used in the education world, and on top of it, it is free. So Google, how much can it do? So here's just kind of a summary of all the different things that Google can do. Of course, we know it's a search engine that can be used for research purposes. I can't tell you how many times a day I Google something if I need to know where an address is, or if I'm looking for where a place is at or what hours of a store are. But you know, the capacity for it to be used as a research tool is just infinite almost in terms of how you can use it with education. Google Drive is a great place to be able to store all your documents and have access to them because it is all online in the cloud. You have access to it on the go with tablets and other things. So that's another great asset. As well as Google Docs, Google Slides, and Google Sheets, which are basically the Microsoft Office of Google, but it's free. There's tons of templates. There's a lot of great features about it, and you're able to save it again right to your drive. And the other part about it that I think is super innovative is that you're able to collaborate. Multiple people are allowed to edit documents at the same time and create those kinds of things. Google Sites, you can create your own websites for free, custom tailor it for educators. This is great. They could create a classroom website, post assignments, give information that they need. Google Forms. I had the opportunity to create a Google form, and it actually was kind of exactly what we were looking for my job. As a behavior consultant, I have to basically get requests from people and get a little bit of background information and know what the situation is with the student before I go out and observe and work with them. And so that form, that's the behavior request form, I showed it to my boss, and he actually thought that was really cool that we could do that. And our school already uses Google Docs, and so that would just be something easy to be able to access it. And the fact that the information automatically is submitted to a spreadsheet, we had kind of talked about brainstorming some different ways that we could use that as well. Google Classroom, you can set up a Google Classroom for sending and receiving information and assignments. And of course, Google Communities, which is how we have done this class. I think it's a very great collaborative way. And it's not quite the same as face-to-face instruction, but it does, because everything is instantaneous and so easy to post and comment. And also able to insert media too, that you can really get a full picture of everything that Google has to offer and also what your fellow students are thinking. Google Plus, which is another part of it, you know, that's kind of the platform and the sharing and the pictures and all that kind of stuff that encompasses Google Communities, classrooms, and those other types of things. And of course, Google Calendars. That is how we are able to get our assignments on our communities, but it's also something that you can do to keep in touch with family, with businesses, put meetings on there and be able to stay in the know on what you have going on. And then there's Gmail, the email function of it, which is another great functionality. And again, all of these resources are free. The one other one that I did not mention on here was Google Maps, which is great, especially if you have an Android device. You can type in a address or a place that you want to go, or even do a Google search for that and then hit the directions, and then it automatically pops up on Google Maps. Linkage to YouTube is another thing. It's super easy to link any videos, especially for this class with Screencast-O-Matic. Once we record a video, then we can upload it to YouTube, and then it can be instantly shared on Google Communities and through that avenue. So what are the benefits? The first one is that it's free and you have access to it. Access to Google and all of its features is as simple as having a Google account. You also have to have Wi-Fi, but in this day and age, it's hard not to find a place that doesn't have free Wi-Fi within a couple blocks of where you live. Next, it's user-friendly. the ease. Anywhere there's internet access is enough to take advantage of everything that Google has to offer. You can even do it on the go. I have all of the different Google applications on my phone. I have Sheets, I have Docs, I have Communities, I have Google Plus, all of those things on there, so I can always have that information at my fingertips. And it's global. You can collaborate. So I just kind of said, from down the hall to across the waters, at the touch of a button, users can collaborate together and connect instantly. And I think that that's one of the things that has really made Google kind of take a step above and beyond, and why it's such a great platform for us to do for our online classes, because you can really access information that's outside of just your school or your school district or your community. You can really engage with people from all across the world. So who can use it? Business owners. Business owners can use Google. They can create websites, order forms, budgets, presentations, and keep in touch with their staff. Teachers can use it to create interactive classrooms where students can access and submit assignments, saving paper and money. I know that there's a big push in many school districts to go paperless, and this is a great tool to use to be able to achieve that goal. Students can use it. Free is great for students. As we know, poor college students, anything free is great. And with the advances in technology, Google's a direction that a lot of online classes are going. Fort Hays is doing it. There are other universities that are doing it as well. And you know, when you go to college, it's not like it used to be when you would go and get your first laptop and then you would also have to pay an extra $100 or $150 to get the Microsoft Office suite put on there, because you can get everything that you need with Google for free. And the last is anyone. Google's universal, and anyone has the potential to unlock or to lock into the power that Google offers. And again, it's free. I think that this is such a great resource that they have built, and the fact that it is free is phenomenal. So why now? Education's changing, and the students are using technology on a regular basis now. Google has the ability to enhance technology, education, research, and collaboration, and these capabilities are better than any other company or business, in my opinion. So I kind of thought about some of the different things that I wanted to have as takeaways from this Google class, and so I came up with the 4 C's of Google. The first one's creativity. With documents, spreadsheets, slides, sites, calendar, forms, with all of those different kinds of things, there's just, I think, an unlimited potential for creativity in terms of designing a class to be more interactive and to provide your students a better education. Consistency. You always know what you're going to get with Google. I don't think I've ever had to deal with an issue where Google has gone down or has crashed like Blackboard on previous courses, especially that like night before your assignments are due. So it's always consistent. It's always there. It's always around, and it's always working. The next one is collaboration, which we know, and this is not even an educational use, but I was on a fantasy baseball league. I love baseball, and our fantasy baseball league actually used Google Sheets and was able to keep comprehensive track of who was on everybody's team, what teammates were traded, and there was the ability to go in and edit and change and update all of those things simultaneously. Within a classroom, if you have a group that's working on a project and there are 4 different people that have 4 different sections of information that they need to add, it can be shared with all 4 of those users with the touch of a button, and they can all collaborate on it together. And the last one is convenience. It's super easy. If you've got a computer and a laptop and a Google account, you can access it. If you have a phone and Wi-Fi access and a Google account, you can access it. So those are kind of my takeaways from this class. I thought it was really cool. I learned a lot of skills and a lot of really applicable stuff that I'm excited to kind of get formatted the way I want it, and to be able to use it to kind of take our school district and some of the programs that we're doing into the next level. So it's been a pleasure doing this class with you guys. I've learned a lot. Thank you, Dr. Moody, and you guys have a good semester.